Let's go Falcons! Coming in with the latest behind-the-scenes news, the Falcons are ready to take a deep dive into what happened. But first, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any Falcons updates as we head into this big NFC South showdown. Alright, let's get to it. Good news from Falcons camp. Atlanta just elevated 2 players from the practice squad ahead of Sunday's matchup against the Buccaneers. Defensive back Natron Brooks and outside linebacker Damone Harris will join the active roster, marking the second consecutive week they've been called up. With the Falcons short on linebackers, especially after Lorenzo Carter was placed on IR, Harris will play a big role in supporting James Smith-Williams and Matthew Judon. The coach's praise for Harris's performance in Week 7 has fans hopeful he'll shine again on Sunday. As for Natron Brooks, the young defensive back has been steadily improving since signing as an undrafted free agent. His main impact will likely be on special teams, where he has proven to be a solid asset. Now, this game is crucial. Both the Falcons and Bucs enter this one with 4-3 records, meaning whoever comes out on top will clinch first place in the NFC South. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. Eastern Time at Raymond James Stadium. Now, let's talk about what everyone is talking about, the Falcons' defense. Pass pressure, or rather the lack thereof, has been a constant issue. Year after year, the Falcons have ranked near the bottom of the NFL in sacks, and this season is no different. It's frustrating, especially when you see our defense giving opposing quarterbacks too much time in the pocket. But defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake isn't too concerned with individual stats. According to him, we don't look down and look at the stat sheet. What we're trying to do is win football games. His focus is solely on getting the ball back to the offense and winning the division. While it's nice to hear Lake prioritizing wins over numbers, there's an undeniable connection between our lack of sacks and the defense's struggles in general. The fact is, a stronger pass pressure would take a lot of pressure off our secondary and allow the Falcons to control games better. When you look at the stat sheet, it tells a story that can't be ignored. The Falcons' defense is among the top 5 in the league. That has to change, and Sunday is the perfect time to start. Here's the thing, Tampa's Baker Mayfield destroyed the Falcons' defense in their first meeting. But here's where it gets interesting. Mayfield won't have his top targets, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, for this game. That means he'll have to rely on backup receivers, which should give our defense an advantage. Last week, the Falcons had a great chance to capitalize on a weakened Seattle offensive line, but they only managed 1 sack on Geno Smith, who still managed to pick apart our defense despite facing constant pressure. It's easy to put all the blame on the players, but ultimately, the coordinator has to take some responsibility. And with Tampa's offense coming in shorthanded, all eyes will be on Lake to see if he can come up with the right schemes to disrupt Mayfield's rhythm. This game is his chance to silence some of the critics and show that his system can work, especially with Damone Harris and Natron Brooks providing some fresh energy on defense. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Can Jimmy Lake and the defense improve against a shorthanded Tampa offense? Are Harris and Brooks the depth we need to turn things around? On a different note, the Atlanta Falcons suffered a disappointing loss to the Seattle Seahawks, raising serious questions about the effectiveness of their defense. This game was billed as a critical matchup for the Falcons, who came in with playoff aspirations and a solid track record. Unfortunately, it ended up being one of their worst performances of the season. It's never easy to stomach a loss, especially when expectations are high. The Falcons built a strong belief during a 3-game winning streak against divisional rivals, but losing control against a vulnerable Seattle team left many fans scratching their heads. The team has had some fantastic offensive performances and memorable wins, but all 3 of their losses this season have come at home. That's not what you want to see if you're hoping for a playoff run. While one loss doesn't mean we should hit the panic button just yet, we can't ignore the glaring issues on the defensive side of the ball. With all the star power and reliable veterans on the roster, the expectation was to field a respectable unit that could hold its own and make timely plays. Instead, we've seen massive running gaps, easy completions, and a complete lack of pressure on the quarterback. Sacks are non-existent, passes are going uncontested, and our blitzes have become predictable. The foundation of our defense, limiting explosive plays, has been destroyed by a Seattle offense that shouldn't have been as potent against us. Head coach Raheem Morris and defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake have their work cut out for them. They need to figure out how to get the best out of a group of underperforming players. After reaching high levels of fan confidence just above 90% in recent weeks, that number has been hit. Until we see some significant improvements on defense, that uneasy feeling will linger among the fan base, win or lose. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The Falcons are set to face a decimated Tampa Bay team this Sunday, which could be the perfect opportunity for them to reclaim control of the NFC South. A win would certainly help, but it may not be enough to quell concerns unless we see a marked improvement on defense. The next 4 games are crucial, and if the Falcons want to rebuild their confidence before the bye week, they need to step up defensively. So what do you think, Falcons fans? Can the defense turn the tables on the Buccaneers, or are we in for a tougher time? Let me know what you think in the comments below. The Falcons are constantly looking to increase their pass rush, and last week they took a significant step forward by elevating defensive end Damone Harris from the practice squad for his season debut against the Seattle Seahawks. This was a crucial opportunity for Harris, and he did not disappoint. In a game where the Falcons' pass rush was struggling, recording just 1 sack on Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith, Harris stepped up and showed what he could do. Playing 26 defensive snaps, 43% of the game's total, Harris made his presence felt on the field. He was able to pull Smith out of his spot on several occasions, even drawing a roughing the passer penalty when he tried to avoid colliding with his own teammate. Now, you might be wondering about his stats. While he finished the game with no tackles and only 1 quarterback hit, it's the impact that counts. Falcons head coach Raheem Morris praised Harris for his disruptive play, saying, "He won out there." For him to be around the quarterback, him setting the edge, he forced intentional grounding when he held him. He did a lot of really good things, and I was really proud of him and how he was able to show up and play for his team. Harris had a strong summer with the Falcons, showing off his skills during the preseason, where he recorded 4 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, a tackle for loss, a pass defensed, and even forced a fumble. This guy has been on quite a journey. Undrafted out of the University at Buffalo in 2018, he bounced around the league with 5 different teams but has finally found a place where he is being recognized for his potential. Defensive coordinator Jimmy Lake also chimed in, saying, "Damone got his first action and played really, really well. We weren't surprised because it's shown in practice. He's earned the right to go out there and get some reps." Lake expressed excitement about Harris's development and how he's ready to contribute more as he gets more playing time. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Harris is returning to Raymond James Stadium, the same place where his NFL journey began. With the Falcons facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this Sunday, there's some uncertainty as to whether he'll be elevated for game day again, but his performance last week certainly has him on the radar. The Falcons desperately need to find more pass rush production as they prepare for this crucial matchup. If given the chance, Harris has already shown that he's ready to help turn things around. So, Falcons fans, what do you think? Can Damone Harris continue to make an impact, or do you think we need to explore other options to improve our pass rush? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for all the latest news. Go Falcons!